Sa news, nasa showbiz report na tayo. Yeah, we're almost done. But don't worry because while you see I'm the head of sales, training, and recruitment, tonight we're not gonna sell and we're not gonna recruit. So I want your full attention because I'm pretty sure that, at some point in your life, you've been approached by someone. But right now, please note that before I start, please note that you're not required to do anything at the end of the day. Is it fair enough? Fair? Okay, alright, so let me proceed. I'm going to share with you a wonderful idea, and I'd like to thank all our coaches this evening, Coach Dax, Coach Chats, and Coach Shay. Na-realize ko dami ko na mga wrong choices sa buhay ko. No? At na-realize ko na, sana maulit pa yung mga panahon. But no, we can't bring back time. And that's what I'm going to share with you this evening. So, the first idea that I'm going to share with you is what we call medical inflation. Okay, who's familiar with the term inflation? I'm going to give you a price if you're going to give me a quick answer. Can someone raise his or her hand? Okay, what is inflation? Yes?
Increase in price.
Okay. Alright, the increase of, it's an economic phenomenon where the purchasing power of our money weakens because the commodities prices increase, This is a more simple way. Let's give a big round of applause. Okay, but ang mga nangyayari ngayon, hindi lang commodities yung mga tumataas, no? When we talk about inflation kasi we think about yung mga dilata, yung mga corned beef, noodles, bigas, gulay, everything tumataas. Tonight, we're going to talk about a different kind of inflation. It's what we call medical inflation. It's an economic phenomenon where the purchasing power of your money weakens to purchase medical services. And it's a reality. And it's something that we ignore because, of course, hindi naman lahat sa atin araw-araw na hospital. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Pero lahat sa atin sa araw-araw kumakain, right? So we're affected by the commodities. But this is something that might not affect us directly, but we have to understand that this is something major. It's something major. So there's erosion of purchasing power in terms of healthcare. You can no longer afford to pay for the medical services that you used to afford before. For example, 10 years ago, I had an operation in my left leg. I spent around 640 pesos. And 10 years after, on my right leg, with the same operation, I spent 3,400 pesos. That is one way of looking at medical inflation. That's how simple it is. And if you look at cancer treatment, based on the recent studies, you will spend at least 1.5 million for a cure or to continue treatment. It's very disturbing. And that's what we call medical inflation. And most of our friends and relatives, when they experience critical illness, will turn to crowdfunding. Anong unang resource natin when we get critically ill, when we get hospitalized? What's our first resort? What's our first resort? Karamihan sa atin mangungutang. Karamihan sa atin will go to PhilHealth to ask for help, to go to different charities. And that's the reality for every Filipino. While some are really celebrating with a lot of kickbacks. In fact, you know that in the news right now, a lot of our friends and relatives at this point are probably suffering and not affording the basic medical service. That's the reality. Now, let me share with you a story of my lola when I was a little kid. I remember very vividly. She was actually hospitalized, and she was supposed to spend like 800,000 to a million for a cure. I couldn't do anything about it. I was a student. There was some sort of crowdfunding, but it wasn't enough. And I was already looking at my lola. Yung sinasabi niya at that time was, sabi niya, if we cannot afford this anymore, it's okay. I'm okay. I think I've enjoyed life. I have to let go. Tapos favorite niya pa si the Beatles before. At parating yung sinasabi, sige, let it be. If this is my time, let it be. And that is the mindset that I don't want us to embrace right now because there's always a chance. There's always a chance for us to extend the lives of our loved ones. There's always a chance for us to extend the lives of the people who are important to us. And it's unfair that most people would resort to just giving up. I hope that you realize the deep story behind that right now. It's unfair that people would just give up just because they can't afford. And that's, I guess, where we want you to understand that we can help you. Alright? So, next, if you try to take a look at the reality though, did you know that the top 3 causes of death in the Philippines, as mentioned by Coach Chance, are heart disease, cancer, and stroke? And if you look at the survey, about 100,000 deaths were caused by heart diseases. Diba? That was actually the disease that my lola suffered from when I was a kid. And before she said goodbye to the world, sabi niya, sana kayo, umabot kayo sa point na nagtrabaho kayo na mabuti so you can afford your own healthcare and you won't die the way I do. So that was something that I remember that she told me, and hindi na daw kami mag-let it be at mag-let it be na lang kung hindi namin afford. Alright? And around 100,000 of them are probably thinking that same way, just to give up. Kasi wala na talagang magagawa. Cancer also caused about 55,105 deaths as of 2025, and stroke almost 50,000 also. That's a stark reality, di ba? Do you feel sad about those realities? Yes. Alright? Aren't you distraught? Di ba? Now, the good news about tonight is I'm going to share with you a wonderful story. Okay? Next, please. There's actually a very good penetration right now, an appreciation of life insurance. Maybe because of the pandemic, lahat tayo naniwala sa insurance. Lahat tayo naniwala that it's very important for us to prepare for the future in terms of medical needs. Okay, so can I share with you an idea this evening? Right? Let's proceed to the next one. Okay, so I need a volunteer. Isang tao lang. I need a volunteer. I just need to talk to someone. Para hindi ako parang baliw dito. Don't worry, I'm not gonna ask you difficult questions. It's just a very, very simple question. Just raise your hand. I need a volunteer now. Okay, ma'am. What's your name, ma'am?
Joy Mirador po.
Sorry?
Joy Mirador.
Joy. Okay. Alright, so everyone, as I talk to Joy, can you listen? Because this is also addressed to everyone. So, Joy, do you save in the bank?
Yes po.
Okay, so suppose you save in the bank about, let's say, okay, click next. Let's say 2,000 pesos a month. In the next 12 months, how much will you have in that bank?
24 po.
24,000. Isang masigabong palakpakan, magaling sa math si Joy. Okay, alright, Joy, knock on wood. Let's just say 1 year down the road, you got very sick. And your doctor told you that you need 1 million pesos for your critical illness. How much will you get from that bank? How much? 24,000? Right? Everything, and you end up with a close account. You have to say goodbye to that. Your 24,000 is what you have for your critical illness because you saved in the bank for the next 12 months. Now, allow me to share with you an idea. You save the same amount in the special savings account. 2,000 pesos every month in the next 12 months. And the same thing happened. 1 year down the road, you got very sick, Joy. And your doctor told you that you've been diagnosed with a critical illness. Here's what you can have. An emergency fund, next, of 1 million pesos, immediately available for critical illness, whether it's stroke, heart attack, or cancer, 1 million pesos will be immediately available for you. Alright, next. In case you get hospitalized because of critical illness, you will receive 1,000 pesos every single day that you're confined in the hospital to add to your fund for that expenses. Next, just in case nothing happens to you, such that you survive and you didn't have critical illness, after 10 years, you can withdraw as much as 177 from your fund for your major purchase, such as, your big travels or whatever. Or if you live a little bit longer in the next 20 years, you can get as much as, next, you can get as much as 526,000 in your fund, and that's withdrawable. Now, just in case, God forbid, you're taken out of the picture, and you were called by the creator, di ba? 1 million pesos will be immediately available for your family. And just in case, somewhere along the way, in the next 12 months, you can no longer afford to pay because of certain disability, this type of special savings account will also help you continue with your policy to be protected, or to your savings to be protected. Now, Joy, if I'm gonna ask you, which of the top two, or which of the two savings account is better? Bank savings or the special savings account?
Special savings.
The special savings account. Do you all agree it's a special savings account?
Yes.
Does this all agree it's a special savings account? Yes. The good news is the special savings account is available with us. And it's what we call Coco-Life Agapay. Isang masigabong palapakan, everyone. Alright, okay. Alright, so to give you a quick idea on that, just give a quick, a fast one. Critical illness benefit rider covers 36 critical illnesses, and then the hospital income benefit rider can give you 1,000 pesos to 5,000 pesos daily if you're confined, as long as you're going to be confined for a minimum of 3 days. Now, the CIBR, or the critical illness benefit rider, is actually the cheapest in the market today. You can do your own research right now. You can log on to your chat GPT or whatever. When you research on what is the most affordable CIBR or a rider of this type in the industry, it's always going to be our company. And I did my research just like 5 minutes ago, and it came out like that. We are the most affordable one. Okay, next. We can actually give you as much as 5 million in your critical illness benefit rider, but of course in other product. For our Agapay though, it's just 1 million, di ba? If you want a cheaper one, and you don't need like the investment component of it, you can go to our Coco-Life Kalia, which is a term product or a protection-based product, which will give you cheaper or affordable rates. Okay, I want to give you the idea of how these packages work. Next slide, please. Alright, okay, next. As I mentioned, our repriced ones are the cheapest in the market, or the most affordable in the market. The next one, next slide, please. Okay, and the next one. Okay, so for our HIBR, or Hospital Income Benefit Rider, by actually setting aside 1,500 pesos on an annual basis, you can get as much as 1,000 pesos a day if you're confined in the hospital. Okay? So, if you are confined in the hospital for 10 days, once you're confined, you can get as much as how much? 10,000 pesos if you chose 1,000 pesos in your product of choice. Okay, next one. Alright, Coco-Life Agapay is both protection and investment. So, it's actually protection and investment rolled into one. You're protected and you can be assured that your family is taken care of in case you're taken out of the picture. And on the side, your money grows over time. So you can have something to withdraw in the future for your other needs. If you want purely protection, it's Kalia, which is actually anchored on a purely protection product we call a term plan. Alright? Next slide, please. Okay, so for both our products, whether Kalinga or Agapay, our main objective for this is to really prepare for a critical illness benefit and for you to be able to attach a hospital income benefit rider, which is actually the reason why we came up with this type of program, di ba? Because when we started a while ago, we mentioned that the main concern of Filipinos today is to prepare for critical illness and hospitalization. Alright? So, para hindi na tayo para hindi na tayo kumanta ng let it be, at magpaalam na lang sa mundo, di ba? Okay? Now, I want you to look at the packages. Next, please. So, here's a quick look by setting aside what I also presented to Joy, you can get as much as 1 million pesos in your critical illness benefit rider if you're 30 years old and you get the first package is basic, and if you want the preferred one, it's a little bit more in terms of premium because you have waivers. That's the difference of it. You have waivers there and everything is complete. You also have a hospital income benefit rider. Okay, if you proceed to the next one, next slide please, which is Kalinga. No? Kalinga is designed for protection. It doesn't have an investment component. It doesn't have something that you can withdraw in the future. But it's not paying as much as Kokolay Magapay, which gives you, the next slide, we will give you this rate. Diba? For basic, it's 9,118 on an annual basis. And for preferred, which includes the waivers, it's 10,000. So it's affordable, but it gives you a lot of protection. Okay? Alright. So we have shown you the different types of solutions, because I know if you were able to do what our coaches this evening presented, and if you follow them religiously, we won't even have to get here, you know. But at some point in our lives, since we have no choice, we did everything, but here we are, we got into this, we're in the hospital now, so at least you're prepared. And that's where we come in. Okay? So before I end, I just like to invite everyone to ponder on this and think about this. We're not selling a product, we're actually giving and selling a chance, or offering a chance, diba? We're offering this chance to your friends and relatives for them to extend a little of their lives, no? With you and spend more time with you. So tonight you are given two choices. The first one is you go back home and pretend as if nothing happened and forget about this event, forget about us, forget about me, forget about our coaches. The second option is you take the first step now, talk to your friends and relatives and deliver the good news. Because after all, it's not just a product, it's a chance for them to spend more time with us, for these loved ones to maybe stay not forever, but at least with us a little longer. Okay, so good evening everyone. Thank you very much.